Welcome everyone. Today's topic will be time and materials. This is an exciting and powerful new feature that we've added to the B2W operations platform. This new feature is found within the B2W Track element. Today's presentation will be a general overview, including a brief description of the ways the feature will be able to assist you in time and material tracking, and an actual demonstration of the product to show you what it's going to look like. Next, we'll discuss some of the key reasons that drove our development for time and material tracking. Overall, it gives you the ability to track and manage time and material work more effectively. Many jobs will have a mix of contract and T&M work. You need to be able to differentiate between those two types of work within a single job. This will give you the tools to do that. A huge need in a job with time and material is the ability to have different rates for that work. In order to efficiently bill out time and material work using different rates, we give you the ability to create and store those rates within the resources area or within the job itself. And I'll show you both ways to do that. If you have specific price limits on time and material work, you'll be able to not only set up those limits, you'll also be able to track the accumulated time and material pricing and see if you're nearing those limits in real time. Another big part of the solution is to be able to track both contract work and T&M work on the same field log. No need for separate sheets or processes to do that. You'll be able to track both types of work all in one area. And the last point, you'll now be able to obtain a customer sign-off for time and material work performed. You'll be able to do this in two ways. You'll be able to print off a report for them to physically sign, or with the tablet application, you'll be able to get an electronic sign-off directly on the tablet. Now that we've discussed some of the functionality of the new feature, let's take a look. Now we're on the home page of the B2W Operations suite of products. Before looking at a job where we have time and material set up, let's take a look at the resources area where you can actually store T&M rates for easy access. Let's go to the resources area and you'll now see a new area for time and material price sheets. In this area you can now create rates for equipment, labor, materials, and miscellaneous prices ahead of time. So you can store them as default rates or for customer specific rates and just pull them into any job. Once in the job, they can be modified further if you need to make changes for that specific job. So you see here when I click on Acme equipment rates, the rates are already set up with the selected markup. To set up a new price sheet, I come here and click on New Price Sheet. You then can select the resource, whether it be equipment, labor, materials, or miscellaneous rates. I'll choose equipment. You then give it a name, an ID, select a business unit, and then select the rate source. Here you can pull from an existing rate class, such as standard rates that you use for your contract work, and just apply the appropriate markup. You can pull from existing T&M price sheets or choose no rate source and manually fill in the rates. Once the price sheets are established, you can pull them into any job. Now let's go see what that looks like. Oh, actually, before going into an actual job, let me show you a couple other areas that you'll need to know about to be able to set up access to time and material. First off, we're going to go into the business unit where you want to activate time and materials for those field logs. Here we'll go into the setup area. We'll go to the business unit. Pick any business unit where you want to have time and materials activated on the field logs. We'll go to field log settings. Underneath, I'm going to go ahead and put this in edit mode. When I scroll down, I'll now see the new section for time and materials. Here you have to check the checkbox here to allow time and materials to show up on your field log. There's also some security settings as well. So we'll go up to Setup again and we'll go to Security Roles. Each of the security roles, and I'll just pick the foreman security role here as an example, each security role has settings that affect the ability to see and function within a time and material environment. One of the first ones here is in track. If you want someone to see and view T&M price information on the field log, this needs to be activated. Also down below, in the resources area, you'll now see a new line for time and material price sheets. If you want those to be activated, you'll need to give the permissions to create, view, edit, delete, assign, and import. Also in the resources area, there's a way that you can set up your production accounts so that they only show for the necessary time and material jobs. So here I can go into a specific production account, and again I'll put it in edit mode. There's a new checkbox here that will allow this production account to only show up in a listing for time and material accounts. And you'll see what that looks like here in just a second. Now I'm going to my home page and go into the jobs area. From there, I'll first pick a job that has no time and material set up. I'm going into one of my sample jobs. You'll notice at the top here a new area for time and material work. This is the one central area to set up the variables for the time and material work for this job. Here you'll see the areas to set up rates for equipment, labor, material, and also miscellaneous rates. Down below you'll also see an area where we can set up pricing for unspecified materials, subcontractors, and trucking. And at the bottom you can set up the time and material work items, which will show on the field log to track your time against. To set up your rates, I'm going to use the equipment rates as an example. Just click on Select Equipment Rate Source. From here I can select my rate source, whether it be from a rate class, a T&M price sheet, or no rate source, which allows me to manually set my rates for this job. For my example, I'm going to pull rates in from a rate class. Here I'll pull in from my standard rates and I'll apply a 15% markup to those rates, and then just click apply. So now when I put equipment hours against my time and material work in this job, the rates will be 15% above my standard contract equipment cost. Now I would continue to do that for labor, materials, and miscellaneous cost. For things like subcontractors and trucking, I click Edit Markup and just apply the markup 10% here, 10% here, 10% here, and click Save. To create the time and material work item, I click Create New T&M Work Item here, and I can give it a description. Here I'll just call it demolition. I can show who requested it. I can apply a unique tracking ID. Here I'll put 1400. Next I assign the account ID. This is the cost code for the work. I can pull from the master list here, or if I have any codes set up that are specific to T&M work, the checkbox here will show me a much smaller list of T&M codes only. Here I'll uncheck that and just pick my 1400 demolition account code. I can also set a price limit for this work. You'll be able to see the price limit and the accumulated price both here in the work item and also on the field log. I'll give this a $5,000 price limit. After this is saved, you'll be able to see things like cost to date, price to date, and price remaining. And you can also mark this work item as complete after the work is performed. This will exclude the work item from the field log when this is checked. So now let's go look at a job where this is already set up so you can see what a fully loaded time and material job will look like. I'm going to cancel here and go back out to my home page and back into the jobs area. I'm going into my regional development job. Here when I go into my time and material work area, you can see that I've already set up the rates for this job. Rate sheets are in place with the needed markup, and you can also see that you can have different markup rates for each rate sheet. Subs and trucking are set up, and I also have a few work items in place. For the work items, you'll notice cost to date, price limit, and price remaining on the items that are already being used. So now that you've seen what a job looks like where time and material is already set up, let's take a look at a field log where time and material is being tracked. We'll go back out to the home page and into the field logs area. So let's go into one of my field logs where I'm tracking time and material. I'll put it in edit mode. Here you'll notice the new section for time and material. To get this area to show up on the field log, you need to change the field log settings in the appropriate business unit. Now you can see that I already have a time and material count on the field log, showing the tracking ID, description, price limit, price to date, showing the accumulated price from all field logs up to today, my field log price, showing the price for the work done today on this account, the total price, and then the price remaining. These accounts show up by the employees, equipment, materials, and such, just like production accounts do. If you need to add any additional accounts, you just need to click Add TM Accounts here, and then add the accounts from the list for the job or jobs on the field log. You'll also see some new filters at the top of the page. Right now it's set to see all account types. You can use the drop down here to choose to see only time and material accounts. Now you only see the time and material accounts on the field log. You can do the same thing for production accounts, or again, all accounts. All about what you want to see. From here, when the field log is saved, in addition to the usual field log summary as you see here, you now have the ability to see a time and material summary. When you click here, it now shows the time and material summary for the day and a breakdown of labor, equipment, materials, whatever you have listed. Now when I go back to the detail view, I now have a new report that can be generated for customer sign-off called View TM Report. This report shows job information with totals at the top of the page and then a breakdown for each account with pricing broken down by labor, equipment, etc. Then down below the report has a sign-off area so that the customer can sign off on the work performed. The ability to see price here on the document is based on the user's permission to see pricing on the field log. So you do have the option to limit that information and just show generated hours and totals. So that's what the view will look like on the laptop. Let's open up a tablet to show you what that's going to look like. Now we use a third-party program called Reflector to show the tablet on my screen. Okay, so now you'll see my tablet view. I have a field log here, and you'll see the new time and material section here as well. Here I'll go into that time and material area of the field log. Here you'll see the same areas where you can add time to employees and equipment. You can also see here that the time and material work has not been signed off. So the new functionality here is the ability to have someone sign off the work directly on the tablet. So if I want to sign this work off, I choose the menu prompt, and from there I choose Sign T&M Report. I can then choose the work that I want signed off and choose Sign. Here you'll see the same report that was generated on the web version. And down below, you'll see an area where you tap to sign. And then with your finger, you can sign off and save the signature. When you click Save, it's now creating the final signed report. When it completes, you'll get a prompt that the signed document has been saved as an attachment to the field log. To finish the process, you touch Validate and Save. The tablet syncs, and after synchronization is complete, the attachment has now been sent back to the server. When you scroll to the bottom of this page, you can see the report. When you go to the attachments area, and we'll go up here to the attachments area, you can see that the report's been saved as an attachment. If you need to email or print the report from the tablet, you can do that as well. Simply touch the selector area here at the bottom, choose to print or email the signed document, and you're good to go. To finish this process, let's go back to the original screen to see that the information has been sent from the field. I'll close the connection here to Reflector, and then go back to the field log listing area and into the field log we just signed off. Here you'll see the attachment, and down below you'll see that the time and material work has been signed off. Well folks, that finishes up our overview of the new time and material functionality within B2W Track. This new feature will help streamline both the creation and tracking of time and material work. Thank you for your time today.